Jesus. Oh, what was that? Oh. Hello? Who's there? Who's there in the dark? Oh. Hello? Who's that? State your name.
The Apocalypse Players present
Crimson Letters!
A Call of Cthulhu 7th edition scenario by Alan Bligh. Starring Joseph Chance as Dr. Jonas Steinweg, Danann McAleer as Professor Duckworth, Dan Wheeler as Kirk Sleep, P.I., with our special guests, Doug McAndrew as Dr. Althea Montrose, and Mike Perceval-Maxwell as P.J. Mahoney. The Keeper of Arcane Lore is Dominic Allen. Chapter 13, Post-Mortem. It's this thing that shambled towards you that is Anthony Flinders. You recognise. He doesn't look well.
And
he looks really unwell.
Am I still in my bout of madness?
No, you've kind of, because you got into the fresh air, you thought you're out of it.
Okay, so...
And then you just look up at this, I mean, he's covered in encrusted blood now. His face is completely bashed in.
Guess I have to make another sanity roll then, don't I?
What is your current sanity?
It's 43. I am indefinitely insane. But if I've come out of my bout and you know, I'm running and suddenly come up against something that might cause me to roll sanity, then I'll almost, well, depending on what the sanity loss is, I might just go straight back into another bout.
Do you not have like a little grace period, like in a video game, when you just regenerate and then you kind of, like Mario flashes for a while?
Well, if I was still in the bout, I wouldn't need to, because you can't lose more sanity if you're in a bout of madness.
This isn't Tomb Raider, it's Dark Souls. There's no bouts of grace here.
Let's have a sanity roll.
Alrighty then. I mean, it can't be that much of a loss just to see someone who you know is dead walking towards you, covered in blood and...
Do you know they're dead?
I know... Well, I know that they were in the boot of our car.
Yeah.
Do I know that he's been killed? I'm not sure what we saw when we left the sanitarium.
I don't think...
Steinweg does know.
I think only Steinweg and Sleep know that
we're
dead.
Right. Okay then.
So
did Montrose not maybe see the body?
Oh yeah, Dr. Montrose was dead. Yeah,
she lost.
You had
sanity.
that madness.
Yeah.
You were right there. Yeah,
that did it for her.
Quite right. So I think PJ, unless I'm mistaken, you plausibly don't know he's dead. So in which case, I don't think you do need a sanity roll.
Okay, yeah. So he just looks very badly beaten up.
Yeah.
I
really badly beaten up.
So PJ will just he kind of run up to him then and say, Flinders, what the hell are you doing here? It's a madhouse in there. I don't know what's going on. Everything's gone crazy. This guy's running about fighting, and I don't know.
Skull's caved in.
What's going on, man? What have you got yourself involved in here?
He lunges forwards at you with both hands to put on your shoulders. What do you do?
I guess I ain't got time for that just now. Just gonna try and push him away from me.
In that case, let's have an opposed a brawl.
Fight and brawl, yeah.
I suppose if you're sort of it's sort of a dodge, really, isn't it? You're trying to sort of push him out of the way so you can get past him.
Well, if he looks like he's trying to grab hold of me, then I guess he's attacking me and I'm fighting back against him. That's how it sort of sounds to me.
What's your build?
My build 0 for the opposed roll.
His build is 1. He's attempting a maneuver.
Oh right, okay. try and grapple me or something?
Yeah.
He's a big fella.
You don't get bonus dice for manoeuvres, do you? You only get penalties. So actually, he doesn't get anything for being big.
Yeah, yes, you only get penalties if you're smaller than the thing you're attacking. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
he must be massive.
Right.
In my head, he looked like Russell Brand, but bloody hell.
Yeah. Yes.
But he actually looks like Russell Harty.
Or Russell Crowe.
He's quite lanky, I think. He's quite long and
Stephen Merchant.
sort of gangly.
Yeah.
And he throws his arms around you.
We'll try and fight him off because I don't really get that he's attacking me at the moment.
Well, especially with your history of such good looks, Mahoney.
What are you doing now?
I just think he's
that
attracted
is
to you again.
success, a normal success, and a fighting brawl from me. But if it's a fighting back and he's got a normal success, I guess it is not a successful one.
He tries to put his gangly arms around you, but you notice that he's not very finessed in his movements, and so you easily push him out of the way.
Yeah, I'm saying, what's the matter? We got to get you to a hospital. You don't look right at all. Oh, you're covered in blood, man.
He looks at you. Suddenly his eyes seem to... They take on a kind of phosphorescence. And his mouth opens. And his voice sounds very strange. It doesn't sound like Anthony Flinders. It almost sounds like more feminine, almost, in pitch and tone. But with this sort of rasping quality, like it's coming out of these dead vocal folds. He says, leave it alone. Leave it alone.
Leave what alone? What are you talking about, man? I don't understand what you're trying to say.
And then he freezes up again, and then as if there's like an internal struggle, wrestling with himself, and he starts to lunge forwards again. Abner Wick, meanwhile, is in the corridor with the rest of you. You've just set fire to the papers.
Yeah. Blinding light.
Abner Wick wastes no time. In the moment of confusion, he lunges at Professor Roach with his hands. He drops the gun, in fact. You hear the gun clatter to the floor as he lunges with his hands around this guy's neck. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear.
Somebody's rolled a critical hit, I think.
Let's see if he can dodge it. Ooh. Abner Wick launches himself at Harlan Roach, gets his hands around his neck, and sort of with the mass of his body and momentum, he just sort of barrels him down, bears down on him. You hear Roach give this kind of strangled yelp as he disappears under Abner Wick's mass. What does Dr. Steinbeck do?
I want to leap to my feet, but of course, because I'm into my later years, in my late 50s, it means that I basically scrabble like a little animal, like a little dog, to my feet. And I've been watching in horror as these pages burn, but also a fascination. Am I right in thinking that I saw the green then as well? Did we all see green, or was it just...
Oh, you all saw that, yeah. Hard to miss.
So this was not usual, yeah? But now all of my attention goes to Roche, does it look like he is trying to kill him?
Well, if you're having a look...
Yeah, I've made that mistake. I have made that mistake. I think it's only fair to say, yeah. I'm thinking, is he trying to kill him? So I think I'm leaning on the wall, and I skitter along the side of the wall, conscious that I no longer have my sword cane. I think Duckworth has it. Yeah, that's right. Duckworth has my sword cane.
Well, I have my own sword cane.
Oh yeah, of course you did. Have I got my sword?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So I do have my sword. Good. So I'm slightly more confident in this maneuver. And it's only as I begin to look really for the detail that I think of the awful last thing that Vic said to me, or us, about his keen sense of smell. And again, I'm beginning to think, what exactly is Vic? With his weird appetites and his capacity for smelling things better than other people, like something out of a German folk tale, like lycanthropy. And then that's when I look at what's going on.
So what you see is Roach is on the floor, and his face has gone purple as Wick just puts his hands right up in his throat. Wick's kind of sweating and shaking as he tries to squeeze the life out of Harlan Roach. And then something strange happens. You see Harlan Roach's skin, like these tendrils seem to run up through the veins under his skin from where Wick's holding him. These black tendrils. The blood is like the blood is thickening and burning, and his skin begins to sort of crisp and split. One of his eyes kind of goes red, and then dark red, and then black, and then oozes out of its socket, and he's going. Steam is coming out of his mouth as his flesh kind of withers in front of you.
Mm-hmm. Am I right?
Probably.
Yeah, I'll tell you what you were to say. Sorry.
You know what I'm going to say. I mean, that doesn't look normal. Someone being strangled. Awful sight though that is. So, I mean, I don't know if I should roll sanity at this point. I just,
Well, at the moment, I think probably only Steinweg can see this because he's on the floor, and you said you did say you were looking.
Yes, that's fair. I mean, in that case, Dr. Montrose, I suppose, is fixated on the flames.
I mean, you're about to get to your turn, I think, so I will hope that you will be able to save me from my crisis that I'm about to have.
But let's have a sanity roll from Dr.
Is it sanity first before I make any sort of rational observation? Because Steinweg never saw the body, right?
Which body?
The lighter.
Yeah, I don't think so.
No. And I don't know whether Duckworth gave me any...
I feel like I mentioned to everyone the black sort of veins and stuff.
Is it the same?
Yeah.
So my last question, Dom, before I go mad before Steinweg goes mad, is when Steinweg was looking in the mirror and thought he saw the face, did he see it blackened and burnt like this? This is way back in the cracked mirror.
I think he was. You saw his eyes were sort of strange and like burnt out bulbs.
Yeah.
I think that was the thing. It was the burnt out bulbs. Yes, the burnt out eyes. So even though I'm still going to fail this sanity roll, is there a sort of cinematic moment of mimicry, or is it this is different? Who knows? Let's go mad first. I talked it up, and I have failed that roll. 71 on a 62. I started today on... Is it only one day? It's only one day, isn't it? I started on 72.
Just one day.
I'm on 62, so finally it looks like, gentlemen, at last I will be joining you. And lady?
Yeah, I mean, this is pretty unnatural, isn't it?
It is.
It's not nice.
But I'll tell you what, I'll give you a bit of an insane insight here, seeing as you're going to have you're about to have a bout of madness, right?
I'm about to roll the sanity loss that you tell me that I have to roll.
Oh, well, I'll give you the sanity loss. It's going to be 4 sanity points.
Holy crap, yeah.
I think that's...
So I'm down to 58 from 72, which in one day it has to be a fifth, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't...
I think, is that 14?
14. That's exactly what I've lost.
Yeah, isn't it? It is.
Yeah.
Hello.
On the nose. Yeah.
Actually,
crumble.
It's 14.4.
But we always round down, yeah?
Right. Yeah.
Sorry. So, yeah, as your mind crumbles, and you gain 5... Is this your first bout of madness?
My first bout of madness.
You gain 5 Cthulhu Mythos points, and you realise that what happened to Leiter is different to what is currently happening to Harlan Roach.
That's worse. Yeah.
Let's see what happens.
Obviously, I'm not seeing any of this, but I'm still at odds as to whether it's an effect being put on this bloke or something happening within him. That could be either, right?
Who's your significant person, Dr. Steinweg?
Yeah, it is my fiancé.
Don't tell him. Don't tell him.
Don't tell him, Pike.
It was my fiancé who left me when I returned from the war.
Yeah, and what you're looking at now is Abner Wick with his hands around her throat in a sort of... But their embrace is somehow sexual. Or at least romantic. Is this who she left you for? Abner Wick?
But of course it all makes sense now. He is such a big man, and I am so small. and to think that the advances of the beautiful girl back at Hobbs Roadhouse even preferred the burnt cripple to me. And I, therefore, presumably stab Abner Wick.
Okay.
I thought you might be going for me for a second. Yeah.
So I think it's probably good night from me pretty soon, chap.
Let's have a roll to do that. So you're using your sword, your sword.
I've used my sword stick. Yeah.
Gosh.
Oh dear.
I don't know what's happened. So I pull my sword back, and this 100, natural 100 that I have just rolled. Would you like to deal with that, or shall I? It's up to you, Dom. You're the man in charge.
I think probably what happens is you go to stab him. I'll take it. I'll take editorial on this if anyone's got any better ideas.
You might have done yourself a really good favour.
Maybe, yeah, it's good. Might have saved my life.
You go to stab him, and the tip of the sword gets caught on the floor, but you lunge anyway, and the sword snaps and catches you.
Oh, yeah.
I think the broken bit of blade slices up you, maybe catching in your. Oh, let's see how bad it is first.
I mean, it's a 100. 0, 0.
I mean, this is obviously about your inability to affect penetration.
The one person who isn't a psychologist.
I'm no psychiatrist, but hey, I know you well enough to understand, Magna. I've picked up one or two things.
Superb.
Fantastic. What's the damage on your sword?
Yeah, it's not much. I didn't actually know, I didn't look it up, but it can't be much, right? But that's
My sword gain is 1d6 plus.
Oh, it's good.
The
Plus you.
DB.
Plus damage bonus.
Yeah.
I have no damage bonus. You'll be surprised to hear.
That's good.
1d6.
You lose 3 hit points as it scrapes up your neck. It's a nasty cut, and you're going to bleed quite a bit.
It's a bloody wound.
But it's avoided your major arteries in your neck, and it hasn't punctured your throat,
And it hasn't punctured Abner Wick.
No.
I began this session as the most useful player. I finished my first
now you're
turn
dead.
as the least useful.
Yeah, you might still be the most useful player.
Yeah, that's
You never know.
Murdered by his own hand.
Murdered by his own blade.
Oh, blimey.
So, Dr. Steinweg is sprawling on the floor again. Blood squirts up the wall. Probably doesn't squirt. And sleep. Do you want to give us a quick recap description of how you eviscerate the corpse of Charles Leiter?
So yeah, as you say, am I in a bout of madness? I mean, I'm kind of always in. Kirk Sleep's always in this strange fugue state.
You still have amnesia.
Still have amnesia. Still maybe have this dissociation. So I turned my gun on this shambling freak. He lunged at me. I fired off a shot, missed, but he staggered back. I took another shot, clipped his ear, and then one more, straight through. That is what those psycho freaks call his third eye, right them square in the middle of his forehead. And his head detonates like some kind of mushroom spore puffball thing. And his headless corpse fell down on the morgue floor, and I said, I sent you right to hell, but don't worry, I expect I'll see you there pretty damn soon. And that's what happened.
Great.
You'll gain some sanity for that, won't you?
I feel like because it was an extreme success, it's maybe merited. So I'll give you it. And you are mythos hardened as well. Yes. So you actually gain one sanity.
Yeah, he's back
Which
for another
is-
round.
I mean, that's a pretty high percentage, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's 33% of my 33% sanity increase. It's amazing.
Yeah, and your bout of madness ends, and you suddenly remember everything. But you feel a little bit stronger than you were before. if this was Darkest Dungeon, this would be where the narrator goes, they can be felled. They can be defeated. And I say to myself,
They can't be felled. They can't be defeated.
probably have to cut that for copyright reasons. Charles Leiter's corpse, in the various chunks that you've left it, collapses to the floor. You notice a strange, it's almost like an aura of dark red light just suddenly shimmers in the room and then is gone.
Oh.
You hear a groan coming from somewhere in the darkness in the corner of the room. But it's over to Dr. Duckworth. What's Dr. Duckworth doing?
Well, so unless I'm mistaken, I'm still in the same, is it the foyer area or wherever we are that the strangulation is occurring and...
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
All you can see is Abner Wick's back on top of Roach, and you just saw Steinweg go arse over tit with his sword.
Eviscerate himself.
Scheiße!
And Dr. Montrose is there as well, right?
Yeah, so you were holding the papers and Dr. Montrose set them alight, or was it the other way around? I think that, or was she holding them?
Two.
You.
Yeah.
I imagine all of this is happening, and Dr. Montrose has just stood there quite calmly, waiting for everyone to finish.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I remember in the last moments of our last session, I switched on both Roach and Wick, and threatened both of them. So I don't have a particular allegiance to either of these guys. I'm not sure if my State of Madness is still going, the one where I think I'm really beautiful, but that's probably irrelevant as I see them sort of fighting on the floor. I think my initial instinct would be to I think I'm going to step forward and just put my unsheath my sword cane and put it under Abner Wick's throat and say, "Leave him, man. It's only assault. Don't make it murder."
Ooh. Let's have a hard persuade roll, it sounds like, is what you're going.
Yeah, I think that's probably fair. How is my persuade? It's all right. Could be better for someone of my profession, but it's all right.
How's your intimidate? I mean, he's got a sword to his throat.
That's true, yeah.
And
my
only half
persuade
his
is
face.
better than my intimidate, actually.
Oh, okay.
Weirdly. Although, I guess maybe a bonus die now I've shattered my porcelain mask, I don't know.
Well,
I'm going to go for persuade. 15. And my persuade is 45.
That's more like it.
So it's hard. It's not extreme.
That'll do it. You say that.
Just put it under his chin like that, and
Yeah. He doesn't seem that bothered about the sword, but something you say gets through to his humanity, and
does it?
Your face, Dominic, keeper of the Arkham mad fucking university corners and by corners, was disgusting just then.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Oh, how did you do that? That was smirking, smug disgust.
Horrific.
I love Abner Wick.
Yeah,
we know.
I think he's my favourite NPC I've ever in any game.
I'm more scared of him now that you've done that.
Yeah, he releases his grip and he nods slowly and says, Yes, a waste, anyway.
Get off her, you oaf! My nibbling!
Made my point. He looks over at you.
All I do in that moment, if he does let it go, is I keep the sword sort of level to him, but I take a step back, so I'm not like point to flesh anymore.
He gets up quite easily with alacrity, you might describe it as, given his shape. He's quite nimble. He rises up, Harkonnen-like.
Floating fat man.
If you haven't seen the new Dune, it's fantastic. So he gets up and he dusts himself down and he gives a sneering look at the figure of Harlan Roach on the floor.
Yeah.
And you can probably see him now, Montrose and Duckworth.
I was going to say, like, obviously, Dex order, Montrose is about to go, but as I step back, I'm definitely going to be keeping an eye on Roach to see if he's still alive. I haven't seen any of the weird black tendrils or anything, but
there is a minor sign of life as he struggles to breathe through his eviscerated throat.
It's a quick fucking strangulation. I mean, I'm not a medical doctor, but
No. Well, you don't need to be to see that.
he's fucking torn it out.
No, it looks like it's melted. It looks like he's been like horrifically disfigured.
Whoa.
To you, probably appears quite beautiful, but
Brother.
I feel like any natural histrionics that I should be doing at this moment are after whatever Althea Montrose does. So
Yeah.
well, first of all, let's have a sanity roll from Dr. Duckworth
Yeah, that seems fair. For seeing this lovely throat.
and face.
Well, for fuck's sake. 99.
Is that a fumble?
you were doing.
My sanity is 39.
It's a fumble.
Yeah. Good. That's what you get for letting your dice fall off the table.
So you lose 8 sanity points.
Good. I would love to.
Through your mind flashes horrific possibilities. This person's face. Is this what's happened to you? How did he do this? Is Wick mocking you? What is this creature on the floor? Is that how people see you? It's horrific.
Oh, fuck.
That creature in the attic. Is that the same thing here?
Well, quite. And now even Steinweg. Is he mocking me by slashing his own... Everything's... Everyone's trying to copy my style by cutting their own faces off.
Copy mine.
I know.
You look down at the melted face of Professor Roach and an involuntary scream, and then you look at the unnatural corpulence of Abner Wick, involuntary scream. You look down at Steinweg clutching his gushing throat, involuntary scream. You look at Dr. Montrose, an involuntary scream. And female academic.
Yes. Scottish female academic. The most horrible of all.
Yeah. The last of which he sort of goes, oh, sorry, no,
Female empowerment, the scariest thing imaginable.
And with that, you turn on your heel and you run out of the room, outside.
Yeah,
Where you crash probably into PJ.
of course.
Why do people keep running into each other?
I think PJ at this point is trying to get Flinders to come along with him and come back to the morgue and help out.
Just before we get back to PJ, what is Dr. Montrose doing about all this?
Right, well, she catches sight. I mean, she was intent on the flames. She put the lighter to them, and they're gone. So yeah, I mean, if she sort of looks over to see this Wick not quite right, and the screaming of Steinweg and the scene of blood and carnage, and then Roach down on the floor, disfigured and half dead, it would seem right that she should also at this point roll sanity. I don't know that she was I don't think she was in a bout of madness, because she was coherent enough to talk and think about these things and join those dots and go, okay. So let's go for. So 79 is a fail.
Belle Surprise.
Belle Surprise. So what are we doing?
I'll roll it for you if you like.
Yes, please.
we all knew he was trouble, but sometimes that's the worst, isn't it? When it's confirmed.
Yeah. I guess because Dr. Montrose is, to some degree used to men running around like headless chickens, you only lose 1 sanity point.
Well, however, that is enough. And, I had a thought, and perhaps I think at this point, and as you say, men running around in pursuit of nonsense and it degenerating into bloody violence makes her mind snap again. And
Again?
she's not here. She's been having thoughts about her past, and her mind is no longer present, and you see her and her eyes glaze over, and she kind of leans against her stick, holds it against her ruined left leg, and her mind snaps back to the worst day of her life, the 18th of November 1910, a day that became known as Black Friday, the day that the suffragettes of the Women's Social and Political Union marched on Parliament Square through hostile crowds, the day that Lord Asquith, the Prime Minister and leader of the Liberal Party had promised to get the Conciliation Act through Parliament. But of course, full bloody men, absolutely useless. They did no such thing. They brayed and they hollered, and they achieved the sum total of bugger all. Now, of course, when the news came through that the act had failed, the crowd turned even uglier, and there we were in Parliament Square, and of course the police were waiting for us. Men, batons, grudges, dogs, men on horses. They had been waiting for this day. We'd caused them so much bother over the years, and they'd been looking forward to it in truth. So they set upon us, they charged, and it was bloody carnage. The women at the edge of the crowd were set upon by the onlookers. Some of them suffered even worse indignities than a beating, and those of us that were in the melee, well, it was all we could do to keep on our feet. And there was one man, this corpulent sergeant, on this huge stallion, a warless moustache and a drinker's nose, and this bastard, he was charging at the women. Only those that had their back to him, mind, didn't see him coming, charging at them, would fall to the ground and be beaten. And I remember looking over to my pals Ethel Moorhead and Florence McFarlane, and I gave them the look, and I went up behind the beast and I slapped that stallion on its arse as hard as I could. And this sergeant, well, he fell, of course. It reared up, he dropped to the ground, and Ethel, Florence and I, we set upon him, made him pay a price for what he had did. Aye, that we did. And I just remember seeing my prize, and I reached out and I grabbed a hold of it, and it was just at that moment that the stallion, it reared back, it kicked my leg, it shattered my kneecap, and everything that happened after that, it was a bit of a blur, but I still have my trophy. And at that point, this having gone on in her head, you see Dr. Montrose reach into a pocket and she pulls out this shiny silver whistle and she just blows it with all of her puff.
It's beautiful. I thought it was going to be something far, far more grotesque. That trophy. That's beautiful.
The prize that she got for paying the price and being beaten half to death and getting her gammy leg and her stick from her pal Ethel. So that's where she is at. She is no longer here in the present. Dom, I imagine she is at the scene of this trauma. She blows her whistle and she keeps blowing it and keeps blowing it.
Yeah, fantastic. So
beautiful.
All this chaos is just now underscored with this shrill, constant blasting in the darkness, fumbling around,
which I think to me sounds like the beautiful song of my beloved.
Yeah,
and Kirk Sleep says, "Oh, damn it! I left the kettle on the stove again."
I was going to say, by the time that recollection has concluded, Dr. Montrose's bout of madness is finished.
This all happens in the flash of an eyelid.
Fantastic.
And there she is.
Wonderful. So almost everyone is in a bout of madness now.
I actually think Kirk Sleep is not.
He's technically, I don't think he is.
Yeah,
Kirk and I don't think PJ is.
PJ's not, no, because he doesn't know that he's fighting a dead man.
So, PJ, what do you do?
So we've just bumped into each other, is that the...
Yeah.
I think probably at this point I will hear that whistle blow.
No doubt, yes.
And also I'll see Monty running out of the building, and I think at this point he kind of PJ kind of realizes that what am I doing? Where am I going? I can't leave them. You come with me. We've got to help them. And kind of try and grab hold of
my lipless, lidless face.
Well, actually, I'm in the middle of a tussle with somebody, so I don't know if you would be able to recognise who it is I'm fighting with. I'm going to try and grab Flinders and also grab Monty as I go back.
Oh, I see.
And try and get you both to come on. We can't leave them. We don't know whatever's going on in there. They could be dead. They're in danger.
Fantastic. So yeah, you grab hold of Flinders. It's not difficult to grab hold of him, and probably Duckworth as well.
I think as long as there's nothing wrong with PJ's face, I don't think he's mocking me. So I'll go with him. I recognise him, even if it is back into the place where all these people were putting on their little theatre show to mock my disfigurement.
Dr. Duckworth, where are you going? Come on, we can't leave him. Come.
I have to. Oh, okay. Well, this way, is it?
Come on, put a brave face on it, man. Yes. You can do it.
What was that?
Stiff upper lip and all that. It's just like,
I swap it out for a Venetian, a Casanova mask.
What happened to you? Did they do that to you in there?
They're all of them are taking their faces off. It makes no sense. They're all trying to mock me.
I've been saying it makes no sense for the last 24 hours.
Yes.
None of this makes any sense.
Who's this fella?
It's Flinders.
And as you say that, Flinders turns and looks at you, Duckworth, and he tries to grab hold of you. So how do you react to that as his hands come?
Do I catch a look at his bloodied face?
Yeah.
In that moment. Great. Well, he's one of them as well. He's mocking me too. So I try and put my sword cane through his eye.
Great. So that'd be a fight back. What's your build?
My build is 0. I'm not very big. So, sorry, what do you want me to roll? Just brawl?
Brawl, yeah. Or whatever your sword cane.
Sword cane. It would be the same, I think. Yeah, I failed. It's not a fumble, but I failed.
Yeah, he fails as well.
Fuck.
You kind of, as you're trying to wrestle him, he can't quite get purchase on you. But you see his eyes begin to glow, and they're getting brighter and brighter.
Flinders, what are you doing, man?
What am I doing? What's he doing? His eyes are glowing.
Flinders, I'm talking to Flinders. I know what you're doing. What are you?
Yeah.
What are you doing? Are you trying to stab him with a sword?
Yeah.
You get a sword.
His eyes are fucked, and he's mocking me.
What do you mean, his eyes? Holy Mary, Mother of God!
Crimson letters.
He's a demon. He's a demon.
So back to Abner Wick is now stood up, and he turns sharply to fucking hell. Who's there? Montrose and Steinweg, who are fucking mental. I think he just walks up to you, Montrose, and tries to pull the whistle from your lips.
Yeah.
Please, be quiet.
She's a death grip of that. Well, roll a d10. So, I mean, this is what she's going to do until a bit of madness passes or someone stops her. So, 8 rounds. So she's doing this until someone physically prevents her from doing it.
Okay, give me an opposed strength roll.
Yeah, if he tries to grab this, she just sort of quick goes, "It's mine!" and she lashes out with her cane to smack him on the temple. This is her prize.
Cane as well.
No, she's got a cane. She's got a walking stick because of her bad leg. That's a 22. Fuck me! What's base brawls at 25? She's got no points in that, so that's a normal success.
I think he's going to try and as he sort of pulls it and you say that, he's going to try and sort of leap backwards enough to avoid as he sees the cane come up. He got a regular success, so you got I
got a regular success.
Oh, you got a regular success?
Yes. You need
so he
to beat with that. I'm going to spend luck on that if I can, Dom.
Yeah.
Why the hell not? Because 22, so a hard success is a 13, is that right? Is that right? A 12? A 12.
12.
So I will spend 10 points of luck to take my luck down to 17 to make that a hard success.
Great.
To beat this fat fuck.
10 points of luck to hit a man with a stick.
How much damage is it for like a sturdy walking cane then?
Oh, that's a good question.
D6, it says here, would be a club or a small club like a nightstick.
Right.
Large club and a blackjack. Kosh, life preserver, they're all 1d8.
They're designed to inflict more damage.
Whatever do you think, Dom?
Because they're on the springs or the...
I imagine it's quite a sturdy stick, right?
Yeah, it's a heavy stick. I mean, she's had to use this for purposes other than walking in her life since she got it.
Well, she works in education.
Okay, I rolled a 6. I rolled a 6.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Bugger off, fat bastard! Whack!
Yeah. It's as much a walking stick as a set of nunchucks is a rice flail. It ain't. It's deliberately manufactured for doing in sergeants' heads at protests.
She pauses momentarily just to give him abuse and hit him, and then puts the whistle back in her mouth and continues to blow.
Brilliant.
So you catch him on the temple and he staggers backwards and clutches his head. It was quite a nasty whack you've given him. It's going to leave a big old mark on his rubbery face.
Don't look.
But, he just says, I see. Yes, fine. And then he goes and stands at the end of the corridor and is calling for Carla and Hector. Carla! Hector!
Is that his little dog?
What's Steinweg doing? Kissing a dying man, I imagine.
A stream of German poetry is coming out in the most horrific fashion. It's being showered on Lydia Metternich's dead body or dying body. Her beautiful red gold hair. I'm trying my best to just smear it away from the crusted blood and the pus and the broken skin, and I'm trying to save her. I'm cradling her. I'm weeping, and of course it's all in German. Teutonic mythical references are coming out left, right, and centre. Just because I have 80% German, everyone, I'm going to do my 80% German roll because my English is not as good as that, and it basically turns into gobbledygook. All of the poetry is rubbish. For those of you who can speak German, it's probably as good as I probably should have improvised because I just rolled a 97.
Wow, brilliant. I mean, you'll need to be screaming it really loud because the whistle is loud, so it's shrieked German.
But I'm sort of, I'm rocking her to me, and then I think maybe, is it fair to say at the end of this turn, I sort of frantically begin to realise maybe there is some life there?
Yeah. I actually rolled a 1 on your duration, so it is wearing off now.
And then I do say, 9, it can't be. It's a hallucination, and that's me done.
Fantastic. What's Sleep doing?
So Sleep heard something right at the end of the last round, right? From
groaning coming from seems like it's coming from the store cupboard where the blood leads to.
Okay, and I'm just to confirm, I'm right down in the morgue. Yeah. Well, Sleep very calmly, with his eyes fixed firmly on the store cupboard, sort of backs away from it, very calmly reloads his revolver and says, pull yourself together, Sleep. You've been talking to yourself again. Got to put a stop to that.
He says.
Just need a bit of shut-eye, that's all. Just need to get a bit of shut-eye. Hey, I always did say I like to work alone. Well, it's just you and me, old friend, he says, looking at his revolver, as he slips the last bullet in and clicks the barrel shut and cocks it.
Fantastic.
Did we ever hear why he was kicked out of the police?
He wasn't kicked out of the police. Slander.
He was politely asked to leave.
That's more like it.
Did we ever hear why he was politely asked to leave the police?
The police station.
No, he took early retirement.
Before, just because he got word that he was going to get kicked out.
I think he was medically discharged. What did I put? Yeah, he took early retirement.
Fucking hell.
How old is Sleep?
How old is he?
25.
49.
Oh, I just had the sense of a younger man.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Now, he's also hideous, by the way. His appearance is 35.
Oh.
So he's 49, but he looks like 70.
Fucking hell. Duckworth, what are you doing? You've got PJ's hand on your shoulder. This thing has just tried to grab you. Its eyes have lit up, and you also notice now that you hear this under the sound of this whistling that's coming from the morgue. There's a mist, blowing over the campus, and you see this yellow light, not dissimilar to the eyes of Anthony Flinders' corpse. It's sort of a weird sort of parallel. This lantern coming through the fog, and you realise it's a motorbike with a sidecar.
Oh shit!
What do you do?
I tried to stab Anthony Flinders again.
Fantastic. Let's have a roll.
Brawl again?
Yeah.
Is it? Does he go first? Like, am I opposing his roll again, or is this?
No, this is your action, so you're initiating. Yeah.
Oh, for fuck's sake! Well, that's almost certainly a fail. 79.
As you try and do that, he's going to try and bite your arm.
I think I'm blinded by the light coming through the fog and this noise, this rum, 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 and I'm going for his eye, but I get distracted and go astray.
I think I'm desperately trying to pull these two people off each other as well while this is going on. I don't know how, if or how that would affect what's happening.
I think in that case I'll give him a penalty die. Whew. No luck. Oh wait, no. What am I talking about? That's 100. Yeah. So in which case, you're pulling him apart. You go to stab him, and he goes to bite your arm and accidentally he accidentally bites the sword. As you pull it back, that's his mouth open.
Stupid zombie.
So let's have damage for the sword.
Okay, 1d6 plus.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, absolutely absurd.
Utterly.
If ever there was an example whereby bringing swords to a battle has been totally inept, it is
6.
this one.
Bring a sword to a tooth fight.
Yeah.
That's a 6. It's gone in deep. It's cut him to like the back of the jaw, I think. His jaw's probably
It's hanging, right? Makes me feel funny.
Yeah, so actually, as you do that, pull the sword back, and he actually goes down to the ground. He collapses in a heap, just as this motorbike pulls up. And you see now that the rider is Hector from Abner Wick's, and in the sidecar is Carla.
Brilliant.
Is that his little dog?
Do they have leather hats and goggles on?
They've got leather hats and goggles that don't fit very well.
No, I bet.
Wallace and Gromit to the rescue.
Gromit.
Exactly.
Gromit.
Me too.
So they pull up. Dr. Montrose, you're still blasting on your whistle.
Yeah. So I took a bit of a liberty and rolled the duration myself, but unless you want to roll, but
No,
I'm perfectly happy to
I
just
think that's fine.
be, despite the sort of rude interruption that Wick attempted to her delusion, she's still sort of fairly happy where she is. So,
Fantastic. So, PJ, what does PJ do? You're trying to pull these apart.
I think
now. This one's collapsed.
Well, so I've pulled him off. He's collapsed onto the ground. I said, "What are you doing, Duckworth? I'm trying to get him to come and help us. Hey, Flinders, wake up, Flinders!
Look at him, he's mocking my face. Look at him.
He ain't mocking nothing. He's just lying there on the floor. What are you talking about?
No. I'll teach him to mock me. And I try and take a stride towards him again.
Hold on. He ain't going nowhere. We'll leave him for now, and we'll deal with him later. We gotta go back in and help the others.
Deal with the others first. Yes.
You deal with them, help them, whatever. Yes.
Yes, whatever. Yes.
As you say that, Flinders, as it's his action, he tries to grab your leg.
Oh, is he not out? I thought he was out for the count.
He's just fallen down, prone, but he's still conscious.
Are his eyes glowing?
A little bit, yeah.
Does that make me feel uncomfortable in any way?
Oh, yeah, probably. Yeah.
I assume they're glowing in a way that's not like you couldn't mistake it for just the reflection of the moon.
Yeah.
They're shining like bullseye lanterns in the dark.
Right, that's a bit weird. Does that go for a sanity roll or?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
For both of us?
Well, actually, let's see if he. I think there'll be a sanity roll for seeing that.
Okay.
But let's hold off and see if he grabs you, so he can have a proper look at you with them first.
Okay. Yeah,
because that'd be a worse.
Yeah, so I guess I'm a bit distracted by this sight of this motorcar and motorbike cycle ploughing through as well.
Yeah. So he doesn't quite get purchase of your leg as he's prone on the floor.
Okay.
So yeah, just give me a sanity roll.
I mean, I'd just be trying to dodge that anyway. I wouldn't be trying to fight back. I was just kind of, what are you doing down there? He's trying to bite me, you crazy man. And I succeeded. 0-9 on my sanity roll.
Fantastic.
Taking this in my stride.
So you don't lose any sanity.
What has happened to your eyes? What?
And as you say that, Hector and Carla come over, and they fall upon Anthony Flinders with little knives. They just...
What are you doing, me? I guess I try ineffectually to pull them off as well, but
I don't.
Yeah, by the time you do, they're done. Their work's done, and you can hear Abner going, "Hector, Carla!" Hector strides over to the morgue, while Carla lifts up the body of Anthony Flinders and begins putting it in the sidecar.
What are you doing? You can't do that. You just kill this guy. I am making a citizen's arrest. Come with me.
PJ, please. They're just doing what's right. You must.
What are you talking about? They just... what is going on here? These two come out of nowhere on the motorbike and they're stabbing this guy and he's trying to bite me and you're stabbing him with a sword. What the kind of a crazy world are we living in?
He was mocking me, PJ. He was mocking me. You know that. Let's go and help our friends. Help our friends.
All right. Let's go and help them. I don't even know what I'm doing anymore.
I'm with you, PJ. Don't worry.
Oh, that makes me feel so much better.
Yeah, Abner Wick has gone to the front door and has sort of seen Hector coming over, and he's gone, about time. We need to get the bodies. This one's gone mad on a whistle, and this one's trying to... Are you all right, Dr. Steinweg?
Yeah, I'm all right. I must try and save this man. And I will attempt to do any kind of first aid.
Okay. Yeah, you can give me a first aid.
Mr. Wick, what is going on here?
I think, given the nature of his wounds, though, I'll need a hard success on this first aid roll.
Would it be better if I was using medicine? Would I be actually doing better, more good?
It takes about an hour to use
medicine. Medicine's time, right? A desperate.
But you do have the facilities, sort of, roughly.
I think because he's so close to the edge of madness, the edge of darkness, some might even say. So that's perhaps not fair to Monty Duckworth to even use those words. But I think he's going to push this roll. And it's dark in this corridor, right?
Yeah.
So and there are no specific light sources, oil lamps or anything kicking around, are there?
Mahoney actually dropped his torch in the corridor.
Did that, yeah.
I'm going to pick up...
which is probably illuminating part of the wall in a very kind of chiaroscuro effect. Yeah. It's probably fantastic on film. People, these shadows just like grappling.
I'm gonna scramble over to the. I'm gonna scramble over to the torch. I know what I'm gonna do. I've still got the end of the sword blade in my hand, the broken bit. What is it? Is it the shaft of Elendil? No, it's the
shards of Narsil.
Yeah, that's it. The shard of Narsil is in my hand. The taint of Narsil. the pudendum of Narsil is in my hand. No, hang on. It would be the erectile dysfunction of Narsil is in my hand. And I grab that, and I'm about to cut through his clothes, but then I think I've got to get the torch. So I'm sticking the blade in to cut through the clothes, reaching across, grabbing the torch at the same time to save his life. And I rip up in a dramatic German gesture of pure efficiency. And I kill him.
Yeah.
I think what happens is, as you do that, you drop the torch, it smacks him on the head, and you go, "Oh, sorry," and then straight into the eyeball.
That's me line. So shall I do that sanity roll now?
Rob's best.
I don't know. I mean, I'm a doctor. I've killed people before, right?
You're also in a bout of madness.
Oh no, his bout of madness has ended. It's ended, yeah.
No, I'm out of it. I'm fresh out of it.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Oh, you're about to go back into it.
Oh, so you didn't, right. You didn't think you were saving your girlfriend's life. You knew you were trying to save.
Honestly close, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Maybe that was why she left me.
Maybe that was why you killed
I
him.
couldn't save her. Have I killed him? Have I killed her? Fragments of the truth.
I thought she left you because you murdered everyone who looked at her twice.
My God, is she actually lying in a room somewhere in Vienna? Just a corpse.
Chained to a bed.
Being looked at by two brilliant detectives, Ethel Muirhead and Florence McFadden. Two worlds have collided. An amazing Cthulhu scenario which is yet to be written.
Let's have a sanity roll.
I have passed my sanity roll with a 26.
Fantastic. You don't lose any sanity.
Oh my God.
Congratulations. What are you doing, Sleep? You've reloaded your gun.
So I've reloaded, and can I still hear this noise coming from the cupboard?
Yeah, it's very faint.
So it's like a locker, like a sort of locker.
Yeah,
it's not another room. It's just a
yeah, exactly. It's like
exactly. It is another room. Exactly, it's not another room.
A big locker. Like a walk-in closet.
Can I? Okay, so I'd like to do two things, but I'm not sure whether I can do both of these in one turn. But I'm going to ask you if I can. I would like to aim. Something that I basically haven't done for 6 sessions is actually aim my revolver. But I would also like to do a listen roll to see if I could listen a bit more carefully and hear whether this sounds like a person locked in the locker who's trying to get out, or whether it sounds like another shambling undead.
Yeah. You can give me a listen roll if you like.
Thanks. Okay. Well, no, I failed that. So I guess I'm gonna push it. By going a bit closer. Because I backed right up away from it, but I really want to hear, and I can't quite make it out. So my revolver is cocked and aimed, and I walk towards the locker, and I say to myself, "What are you in there? What the hell are you?" And I fail my pushed listen roll. Just by 4, but I fail it.
You're doing so well.
Fantastic.
Yeah. I put my gun up by my head and I put my ear next to the door.
Yeah, I put my gun in my ear to help me hear. No, I didn't do that. I just got a bit closer.
You got a bit closer.
Might be a bit of blood.
I was deceived, you see, by everyone saying, "Oh, I really like it when someone does something where they give you an offer where it could go horribly wrong." And I thought, "Oh, I've still got this sharp implement." Fucking idiot. Oh,
I want to do two things. I want to shoot myself, but I will let you decide.
Which happens first? That's up to you.
In that case, can you give me a sanity roll, please?
It's not worth it, is it? My sanity's 4.
It's always worth it, mate.
Hey, listen, I just rolled a 7.
Always worth it.
I rolled a 4!
There you
Yes! There you go. That 1 point
Amazing.
back.
go. And yes, it's because you got that point back.
Yeah.
Sleep,
Oh,
live.
wow.
Not worth it. It's always worth it.
Oh, brilliant.
What you hear is, you hear a voice in your head,
That's nothing new.
but it's a woman's voice.
That's something new.
And she says, "Stop following me. Stop, Wick. Leave me alone." And then the door creaks open, and lying with his chest sort of clearly seriously wounded and trying to in sort of a pool of his own blood is Dr. Wheatcroft, who's sort of gasping for air like a fish out of water. And he just says, came alive right off the table.
Yeah, they have a habit of doing that around here.
And then he just sort of slumps forwards and passes out. As that happens, probably a bit of time passes, during which time Carla and Hector come in, and they take, with surprising ease, they lift up these bodies of throw them over their shoulders of Charles Leiter, of Professor Roach, and they just start trudging them out. They don't even speak to you. Abner Wick, meanwhile, he comes and finds you asleep, and Steinweg, and he says, I think it's time. I think it's time we put a stop to this once and for all.
Are we all gathered together?
He probably comes and tries to find you, unless you're doing something.
Well, Dr. Montrose will maybe start blowing a whistle.
Yeah, eventually, yeah.
DJ's just like that.
Mr. Wick, would you please tell me what in the hell is going on here? You got your staff coming up on a motorcycle and stabbing this poor guy Flinders and then carrying the bodies away. It's all hell's broken loose here. You seem to be right in the center of things. I think it's about time you started explaining yourself in plain terms, son.
I think you're completely correct, Mr. Mahoney. I think hell has indeed broken loose. This was an Apocalypse Players production. For more information about the podcast, go to apocalypseplayers.com. Thanks for listening.
Dom, can you remind me, do we have some information that has slipped our minds about... I've got this idea in my head that we found out that there's something in his office, in his study at the university.
But I can't say that here.
But you can't say that, yeah, okay. And also we
So meta talk, team of 5.
I think this scenario has room for meta talk.
I'm pretty sure we came to the conclusion. We were fairly convinced that the papers were actually in the office because of the picture.
I think somebody said something that led us to believe that, but I can't remember who or when.
Wasn't it because of interviewing the madman? Didn't Duckworth look at the picture, realise that it was caught, and someone said they've been in the office all along, and I think it was Cecil Hunter. Cecil Hunter might have said that they're still there. And of course, taking the word of a madman, it could be it's a 50-50.
I think you might be right.
But we've all kind of grasped it, and certainly I think Steinweg believes it now.
But we've also I got some information from somewhere that Miss Court is potentially mixed up in all this. Potentially she's actually the one who took them or something like that.
I'm convinced that she is the new vessel for Keziah Mason. And that is to say, not just Joseph, but I mean, like, as in Steinweg is convinced.
Oh, so a woman went to see Cecil at the asylum,
which we think is Court.
Yeah.
Because of the picture that he gave. I may have this wrong, and that's glorious because it's Cthulhu Whispers, isn't it?
We think Amelia might be a descendant of Keziah Mason.
Is now a good opportunity for a brief tactical wee. Like a tactical chunder in drinking.
Yeah.
We have
a brief tactical wee.
To do with another White Russian.
Can we all?
People are looking at drawings, having conversations. We all need to get our fucking revolvers out and start firing.
Oh.
Right. Okay.
Bryce Fallon really assembled a crack team.
Didn't he just?
Yeah.
Didn't he just?